I spent this entire offseason trying to tell you guys that the Philadelphia 76ers will be a good team even if Joel Embiid isn't available to play. And what do you know? They are now the second seed in the Eastern Conference, right under the Chicago Bulls. I guess that kind of goes to show how early I'm doing this video and that this whole entire video and everything I say could still age horribly. But I don't care, because I do think that the success we have seen so far and very early on from the Sixers is something that will continue on throughout the season. Now, do I think they will end the year as the second seed in the Eastern Conference? I don't know. That might be, jumping the gun a little bit, but I do think this team is good, or at least better than what many professionals predicted them to be earlier this year. I looked it up and I saw countless predictions putting the 76ers in the low tier play-in spot. And I guess that's understandable, right? Joel Embiid is out and has been having a ton of health issues, and we still don't really know when he's going to be fully healthy. And any team that doesn't have their MVP player, their franchise guy, is going to be worse than, when they have him and he's fully healthy. Not to mention, they're starting this season without Paul George, who, even though didn't play too good when he was healthy, he is still Paul George, right? He has the name surrounding him and the entire, record and career behind him to show that he is still a good player. So a lot of these professionals saw that and said, yeah, you know what? The Sixers don't have their two best guys. Who knows if Embiid will even be healthy again? This team is not going to be good. But you know who they didn't think about when making that prediction? Or at least it feels like they didn't think about this guy. Tyrese Maxey. Yeah, I bet you thought I was going to start this video talking about VJ Edgecombe because I've been high on him ever since the draft. But no, we have to actually talk about Tyrese Maxey, because what he has done with this team is more than just putting up crazy numbers, okay? But we probably should go over the numbers first, because my God, they are crazy. First game of the season, Tyrese Maxey goes out, plays 41 minutes, beats the Boston Celtics by 1 point while putting up a 40-point bomb, along with 6 assists and 2 rebounds. Then he puts up 28 points against the Charlotte Hornets, 43 against the Magic, 39 against the Wizards in overtime. Not to mention that 39-point game that they won in overtime also came with 10 assists, giving him a 39-point double-double. But like I said, this is more than just Tyrese Maxey, putting up some points and, maybe winning a couple of games. It is more than that, okay? What Tyrese Maxey has done is actually been able to take over the team and become a leader. Become the guy who says, you know what? Embiid is sitting, Paul George isn't out here. This is my team. I am going to not only score, but lead everybody else as well. Lead by example, play brilliant fucking basketball, and not shy away from the moment, okay? I have a very random, I guess, comparison to put to this. Some of you guys might not remember, but following the 2020 bubble championship that the Lakers had, it was kind of universally known that, LeBron and everybody at the Lakers team wanted AD to be the #1 guy. They wanted AD to take over the team and say, this is my team now, I have the keys. Mainly because we didn't know how much time LeBron had left, and AD was simply the better player. Well, AD was a guy who kind of struggled to do that. I don't know if it was because of his health or just, other things, but that's a guy who I vividly remember thinking to myself, if AD can take over this franchise, if he can get the keys and finally play like it's his team, the Lakers can be in a very different situation. They can, maybe open up some doors. And that is something that Maxey has done. Even if Joel Embiid is on the floor, Maxey is able to understand that, still play as a leader, and overall, the leap that this man has made this season is absolutely insane. I cannot wait to see how far he goes with it, how much longer he can keep this up for, because once again, I know it's very early on into the season, but he's on the MVP tracker right now. That's all I'm going to say. That's how good he's been. Enough about Tyrese Maxey, though, because I do need to talk about VJ Edgecombe, their rookie. I'm not going to say too much because I've really gone in on him recently, but my God, could there have been a better rookie for this 76ers team? Like, is there anybody else on this draft board that would have been better than VJ Edgecombe? Not only is he leading the Rookie of the Year race right now, but just for this team specifically, VJ fits so fucking nice. I don't know if it's the scoring ability, the athleticism, his playmaking, or his ability to just play, solid fucking basketball, that VJ Edgecombe is going to be a Sixer for a very long time, okay? We all know that, and having that backcourt of VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey is a scary fucking thing. Speaking about their backcourt, Quentin Grimes has been playing out of his mind as well. He did take the qualifying offer with this team, so who knows if this will be his last year with the Sixers before he goes somewhere else. But he's really proven to everybody around the league that he deserves his bag. He deserves to get his money. He's putting up some great performances. His three-point shooting has been a little bit iffy in some games, but other than that, it has been great. And overall, it's just his ability to step up while other guys are out and be that backcourt and just be really solid. And like I said, good from three most of the time. Quentin Grimes has been been great. And we all know, we are all waiting for Jared McCain to come back as well, which just adds even more firepower to this team. I mean, honestly, they are one of the deeper teams that there is in this league when everyone is fully healthy. And I will kind of get into their, whole depth chart and their injury stuff soon. But I just want to go through and give everyone their credit because Adem Bona is another guy who I gotta say right now, I loved watching during the Eurobasket. He was one of my favorite guys to watch, and I'm glad to see him get at least some minutes to start this season. Yeah, he's not putting up 15-point double-doubles and, crazy triple-doubles, Nikola Jokic numbers, but he is a block monster. He had 5 blocks in their overtime game against the Wizards. The night before that, he had 3. The night after, he had 2. In the short amount of minutes that he is getting, he is making the most of them. It's honestly hard for me to hate anything that Adem Bona does because I just love him and his game so much. The last guy that I want to give credit to, okay, I understand I've just been glazing everybody on this Sixers team, but the last guy I want to give credit to is Kelly Oubre Jr. This dude isn't just hot off the court, he is hot on the court as well. If I'm gonna use some recency bias, okay, he just got done torching the Brooklyn Nets, scoring 29 points. I think it was the first quarter where he just shot absolutely insane and scored a shit ton. And Kelly is actually the guy that I kind of want to use as my example when we start talking about their depth, right? What will the Philadelphia 76ers roster, lineup, and depth look like when everyone is healthy? Well, most people think it is going to look like this. Tyrese Maxey at the 1, Edgecombe at the 2, Paul George at the 3, Barlow, then Joel Embiid. Now, is this a great lineup? Hell yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with this. I think it looks great, and they're going to have, a lot of depth with McCain, Grimes, Oubre, everybody in the back, Bona. But there is just part of me that looks at Paul George, okay? And if we're just going to go off of the end of season performance that he gave us last year, where he literally had to stop podcasting because he was playing so fucking horrendous, I would rather have Kelly Oubre Jr. over Paul George. And I think that is good for a bunch of different reasons. I think Paul George is a guy who you obviously do not want to rush back from injury. That's not smart for anybody at all. But he's also probably going to come back and be a little bit cold. Not only did he, like I said, end the season poorly, but he's going to be coming back from an injury, trying to play himself back into shape. If the Sixers are playing good basketball, there is no way in hell I am just throwing Paul George into the starting lineup because he is Paul George. No, I am going to keep Oubre in my starting 5 and play Paul George as my backup. See how well he can adjust back into the game. If he doesn't play good, you're going to stay in that role. Even if he does play good, I think it all depends on Oubre and how good he is playing, because right now, Kelly Oubre deserves that spot. That is basically what I'm trying to say right now. He has played himself into that starting 5, and I don't think Paul George deserves that spot just because he's healthy. I guess it's time we talk about the most controversial part of this entire Sixers team. This topic is very interesting because if you bring it up with a Sixers fan, you will get one of 2 reactions. One person will just laugh at your face and call you stupid, and the other one will say that this should have been done a long time ago. That being the Philadelphia 76ers possibly trading Joel Embiid. Listen, put your pitchforks down, okay? Here is my opinion on this entire talking point and conversation. No. What's the point? Why would you do this? I am just as excited to watch VJ Edgecombe, Tyrese Maxey, and Jared McCain as everybody else. I think they are amazing. I have been hyping them up like crazy. The Sixers are one of my favorite teams to watch around the league, something that I never thought I would ever say in my life. But this entire narrative of, oh my God, the Sixers are actually like really freaking good without Joel Embiid. They don't even need him anymore, is fucking ridiculous. Joel Embiid, just a couple of years ago, was an MVP winner. He won league MVP, was one of the most dominant, if not the most dominant player in the league. And you're trying to tell me that just because he has struggled with injuries recently and was on a minutes restriction for a couple of games to start the season, they need to now move off of him and trade for what? A draft pick? Like, what is the idea there? I truly believe that Joel Embiid can sit and rest as much as he wants this season because the team is so fucking good. They will end up getting their playoff spot even if Joel Embiid doesn't play all 82 games like he's had to in previous years. What I'm saying is that the team is good enough to win without him, so if he is healthy and available to play, awesome, throw him out there. But there is no point in playing him on back-to-backs. There is no point in playing him if he is struggling with knee soreness. There is no reason to play him at all if he is even dealing with a fucking migraine. And all that does for the Sixers, if they just listen to his body and let him rest when he needs it, is make them even more powerful and even stronger when the playoffs and postseason finally comes around. That has been the biggest issue with Philadelphia. As soon as the playoffs come into town, Joel Embiid is too hurt. His eye is twitching. His knee is fucked up. His entire body starts to shut down because he has been ran into the ground throughout the entire regular season. And that is something that for the first time in Sixers and Joel Embiid's entire career, he no longer needs to worry about. I've said it plenty of times on this channel. You play the regular season as much as you can with Joel Embiid. You don't force it. You don't push him. You let him rest. And then when the playoffs come around or a little bit before the end of the season, you play him like a motherfucker. Because guess what? Joel Embiid hasn't lost the ability to be Joel Embiid. He is still that fucking good. So once again, I will make it very clear because the thumbnail and title and maybe talking point of this video might confuse some people. Should the 76ers trade Joel Embiid as of November 3rd, 2025? No. They should keep him. They should let him rest and play whenever he wants to. Joel Embiid is still Joel Embiid. That being said, I know it's still early in the season, okay? This is just, you know, an early prediction kind of still reaction to what we have seen so far. And I will admit the Sixers haven't played like an absurdly tough schedule so far. One thing I do know is that I fucking hate the Washington Wizards. Not because I don't like Alex Sarr or like they beat my favorite team. It's actually because they have more subscribers than me on YouTube. So if you guys want to do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button so we can beat the Washington Wizards, that would literally make my dreams come true. While you're down there, if you want to comment down below, I read and respond to everybody, so make sure you do that. And yeah, I will see you guys all in the next one. Later.